Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's code on the docket is P0354, which means your car's computer has detected an issue with the ignition coil circuit. Now, don't panic. This can be a fixable problem at home for the deer in you. But before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. If you're not comfortable working on your car, it's always best to take it to a trusted mechanic. What is a P0354 code? The P0354 code indicates a malfunction in the circuit for ignition coil D in most cars. D refers to cylinder number 4, but check your owner's manual to be sure. The ignition coil takes the low voltage from the battery and transforms it into a high voltage spark that ignites the air-fuel mixture in your engine. So, a faulty coil can lead to rough idling, misfires, and even decreased fuel efficiency. Diagnosing the problem. There are a few culprits behind a P0354 code. The most common is a bad ignition coil itself. Other possibilities include faulty spark plugs, damaged wiring, or even a vacuum leak. Here's a quick DIY diagnosis tip. With the engine off, pop the hood and carefully inspect the ignition coil. Look for any cracks, burns, or oil contamination. If you see anything suspicious, that coil might be your problem. Fixing the P0354 code. Now, for the fix. Remember, this involves working with your car's electrical system, so proceed with caution and always refer to your car's manual for specific instructions. There are a few approaches depending on your diagnosis. Removing the coil. Locate the ignition coils. They're usually situated near the spark plugs on top of the engine block. Disconnect the electrical connectors attached to the coil. There might be release tabs or clips you need to press while pulling the connector. Identify the bolts holding the coil in place. Use a socket wrench with the appropriate size to loosen and remove them. Be careful not to strip the bolt heads. Checking spark plugs. Worn-out spark plugs can also trigger this code. Remove them and inspect the condition. If they're dirty, gapped incorrectly, or worn down, replace them with fresh ones. Replacing the ignition coil. If the coil looks bad or you suspect it's faulty, you can replace it yourself. It's generally not a complex job, but again, double-check your manual for exact steps. Clearing the code. Once you've replaced the coil, plugs, or addressed any wiring issues, clear the trouble code. You can do this with a scan tool or by following a specific procedure in your car's manual that might involve disconnecting the battery for a short time. Test drive and conclusion. Finally, start your car and take it for a test drive. See if the P0354 code returns. If the problem persists, it might be a deeper issue best handled by a mechanic. Remember, this video is a general guide. Always refer to your car's manual for specific steps and procedures. If you're not comfortable with any part of the process, don't hesitate to take your car to a professional. That's a wrap for today's video on fixing the P0354 code. We hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions or if there's another automotive topic you'd like us to cover, drop a comment below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful and subscribe for more car care tips. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, drive safely.